Hey everyone, it's your boy 1JGW coming at you once again. Continue this Triumph Daytona 675R little series here for my son Jaden, who's studying in France right now. So he can't ride the bike, you know, he couldn't buy the bike, he couldn't even see the bike. So we made this little, little video vlog for him. But we're about to go for a ride today. I told you in the last episode that we're going to take the Triumph out for a test drive. So let's go and open up this garage. And we're going to go and bypass the Daytona. We're going to ride this Triumph right here. This is a 1967 frame with a 1963 Triumph 650 engine. Yes, folks, I said 1963. So this is a 67 frame with a 63 motor. It is called a Triumph Bobber. This is the Bonneville Bobber. This is a custom paint, custom seat. I mean, this bike has it all, and the crazy thing is, it doesn't have much. It's a minimalist bike. This is a motorcycle for that guy. My brother went through the process of rebuilding this bike from the engine up. Engine has been gone through. Transmission has been gone through. Clutch has been gone through. Dual carbs, both of them been gone through. This bike has had it all done, and it's missing a few things though. It's missing a front brake. No front brake here, but you know, there's a back brake. But where is it? Oh, my bad. Back brake is on the left side. So on this bike here, you have to really be prepared to ride. Like I said, this is for that person who is ready to cruise. That Easy Rider bar hopper type of bike. And I'm looking for the key here. There is no key. Why? Oh, it's just straight magneto right here. Here's the off switch right here. You just put a little ground to it, and the engine shuts off. So that's it. No turnkey. You could say this is a turnkey bike. It is, but there's no key. So my brother tried to keep this bike as original as he could, and it looks pretty good. The tires are kind of small. It's a little rough trying to ride on the freeway at high speeds because this thing can get up and scoot. So it doesn't have the sturdiness and as some of the other bikes might, of today that might be a little bit more comfortable. But this is definitely one. If you're that type of guy who likes this, or female, hey, females ride bobbers all the time. It's kind of a lower seat, lower center of gravity. It's just a great it's just a good cruiser bike. It's ready to roll. So we're gonna fire this bad boy up, and we're gonna take it for a ride. So let's see what it sounds like. When riding a bike like this, a 1967 Triumph Bonneville Bobber, you got to kind of be ready for the ride. Obviously, I mentioned to you earlier, there's no front brake on this puppy. The gear shifter is on the reverse side of most traditional motorcycles. This is an older piece of machinery, man. That is just a lot of fun to ride, but you like I said, you got to get yourself prepared. And as we turn the corners here in the streets of Bakersfield, California, we're going to take a ride down to my cousin Carlos. He has some property here in Bakersfield, so I'm going to roll by and kind of take a look at the property, make sure everything's okay. He's in between renters, so I'm just going to do a little drive-by with the bobber, and why not? It's supposed to be a good day today. Believe it or not, they said it's supposed to rain later on this afternoon. So I'm going to try and get my ride in and have some fun with it. But this bike here is the suspension here isn't the greatest. And as long as you're kind of cruising, easy rider, streets, and you're not hitting a lot of potholes and things like that, this is a fun bike to ride. And one of the funny things that you have to think about when you're on this 1967 Triumph Bonneville Bobber is the gas mileage. A lot of motorcycles don't have gas gauges, and people learn to deal with them. But they at least have a 3-4 gallon tank, and some guys put bigger tanks on. But this Bonneville Bobber here, I think we can barely put a gallon and a half in this tank here. It's been customized and dented in a little bit, so we don't really get a lot of fuel in the tank to start. So you've got to keep your eye on the gas here. You got to constantly check it out just to make sure that you're going to be all right on your ride to and from wherever you're going. Make sure there's a gas station somewhere in between, because this bobber will pass up a lot of things, but not a gas station. Speaking of passing up things, to my right here is California State University, Bakersfield, where I came up here from Pasadena, California, and ran track. I got a scholarship and ran track here. Did really well. I was on the CSUB all-time list as a hurdler. That was pretty cool. Matter of fact, as where I'm passing right now, it's an outdoor amphitheater, and at that amphitheater is where I proposed to my now wife of 27 years. So 27 years coming up. So we made a pretty good stay here in the Bakersfield area, and my son, wow, he ended up going there and on a full ride track scholarship, surpassed my hurdle record and ended up becoming number 2 all time at Cal State Bakersfield as a hurdler, running 14.01 seconds for those who are hurdlers, and knowing that that's good world, that's pretty fast. So anyway, we had a real good time with that, and it was fun watching them grow. One of the funny things about riding this Bonneville Bobber is, sometimes at the stoplights you'll get people who want to talk to you about the bike, and that's real cool. There are motorcycle enthusiasts all over this world, and sometimes they'll try to talk to me, and I tell you what, I do my best to listen. I do my best to answer their questions, but with this exhaust, it's just a little too much going on. So what I end up doing most of the time is just kind of yelling out what kind of bike it is, and then when I ride away, I give them the thumbs up. That's about all I can do, because you can't hear them. This bike has an exhaust that is it's real nice to have, but it's a little loud. So anyway, so this bobber, as I'm riding it, and it's sunny out today, a really nice day, but this is a bike you can cruise at nighttime with too. So it's real fun to go around and cruise at night, as long as it's not too cold. The headlight on it is actually it does really well. So it's a great, like I say, a cruiser bike. And as I cruise up into the neighborhood, I'm going to sneak up on my cousin Carlos. Looks like he's here, so I'm going to sneak up in here and see what's going on. So let's really find out what's happening here. And like I said, he's in between renters here, so I'm going to kind of check things out. I love the way I shut this bad boy off here. That's pretty cool. So anyway, I think that's my cousin Kayla at the door here. Let me see what's up. Hey, hey.
Who do you think you are rolling up over here, all loud? Where did this bike come from?
This is my brother Jamie's bike.
Dang, man.
Yeah, so we trying to sell it. Hey, little man.
He's probably scared of you with that helmet.
Oh man, I'm rolling on my camera, so I gotta see Carlos real quick.
Oh, okay,
I'm talking.
And even for mine detection. However, the Husky also excelled during the Second World War, carrying out transport and communication tasks. Number 10, Balto, an unprecedented hero. By far, one of the most striking stories about the Siberian Husky as a breed is that of the dog Balto. His popularity in different lore is such that a Spielberg-produced film was produced in 1995, detailing the story with 2 sequels following some years later. It all began in 1925 with
How come every time I'm shooting a video, you pop up in my video, man?
Oh man,
man,
bro,
see, see, man,
I have to get in where I fit in, man. I want to be a part of it. You can't do nothing without me.
Man, I just be trying to roll up, man, and just do ththings, man. Check on things. Here you are, I mean, over here handling business on your computer. Got folks up in here, man. You just
trying, man. I'm hoping that potential tenants weren't scared off. But, Sons of Anarchy rolling up with the bobber.
Hey, so can you give me a quick moment and talk about this bobber for a sec, man? So let's go out here real fast, man.
Right quick.
Man, I see phones, man. See you got phones.
I gotta separate.
So, man, this is supposed to be a video vlog of riding the Triumph Daytona 675R, but I pulled a little fast one on him and brought the Triumph bobber out today. So, what do you think about this bike, man?
Man, this is a very unique bike. It's not for the everyday rider or the everyday person. You got to be a character to own and ride this bike.
Yeah.
This is not your everyday bike. I mean, there's other bobbers out there, and they all have their own personalities. But this one obviously has its own personality. Beautiful paint job, just raw fun on this bike, and just attitude. I really like this bike. I've never actually seen a bobber up close before. I ride, but I've never ridden anything like this, and this is probably one of the most unique bikes I've ever seen. Just with the way it's put together and how minimal it is.
Right.
But yeah, how do you enjoy riding it?
Oh man, it's a lot of fun. The only thing is, people try and talk to me while I'm riding. I can't hear them, man. I'll be like, yeah, okay, all right. I'm trying to answer, but because it's a little loud. You got a little.
Yeah, well, you don't have much in terms of muffler or piping here. You just have a pipe.
Right.
And that loud pipe save lives. That's
right.
what I think I've seen on a few bikes, and I would have to agree with that. So yeah, I think the setup you have is what you should have on this bike.
And what do you think, man? Should I go ahead and take this one home and then and go get to Daytona and do what I was supposed to do and do the ride on that 675R?
Man, definitely. It's a beautiful day. It may rain a little later, so I think you should ride this around the block a couple more times. Maybe do a quick freeway run and jump on the Daytona. And you can come back here if you want to.
Oh, there you go.
So we can talk a little bit more.
I heard that.
How about that?
Man. And what would you like to say to Jaden? Where this video's for Jay. He was expecting the Triumph Daytona on this particular video, but he got the Triumph bobber. He got to wait another week, huh?
You know what, Jay? One thing I would like for you to be able to do is pretty much jump on any bike and roll out. So if this bike is still around by the time you're ready to ride, I'd like to see you on this bike and the Triumph 675R. But every bike has its own personality, and you'll develop different preferences as you ride. The Daytona may not be your last stop, but it's definitely a nice first stop. And man, just have fun. Just enjoy the ride. Be safe. And take that class, that rider safety class, when you get a chance. You'll definitely benefit from that. But other than that, man, just have fun and be safe and just enjoy it.
Cool. Here it is. So let's pop in on the ride one more time, and then we out to the next episode. Riding this 1967 Triumph Bonneville bobber around is you get a chance to cruise the streets. And I had a chance to go cruise the streets of Bakersfield. It was actually a car and motorcycle show over the weekend, and your boy here, 1JGW, won the best vintage motorcycle of the show. So it was pretty cool. They were trying to take pictures with me and hand me this trophy. And I'm thinking, how am I supposed to ride away holding this trophy? I guess it could be done, but I just took a couple of pictures. It took a minute to get the right trophy there, but yeah, so I took a picture, snapped a few, and then of course I got lucky. My son was there, the model, and he got to take the trophy for me home as I continue to cruise the streets of Bakersfield. Well, it's been a lot of fun riding this bobber, like I said. But I know I promised you a ride on that 2017 Triumph Daytona 675R. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head back to the shop here and go ahead and get my gear together for the Triumph ride that you've been expecting. So I hope you enjoyed this particular version of the Triumph. This is a cool bike to ride, man. No front brake, but you know, we do what we can. Hey, join me next time as we jump on this 2017 Triumph Daytona 675R and go for the real ride. Take care. We'll see you guys next time. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on anything that you liked on this video. And by the way, that 1967 Triumph Bonneville Bobber is for sale. Hit me up if you're interested. All right, let's see how this bad boy sounds at about 10,000 RPMs here. Oh yes, I think we're ready. We're ready to roll. Let's put on some riding gear. Let's make this happen.